Good afternoon, happy stampers. This is Judy Anderson with judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome you to my Happy Stamping Studio. So today we're going to be using the Easter basket stamp set and dies along with the Wash and Beauty Designer Series paper. We're going to be creating a really cute Easter card today using these new products. The Easter basket and stamp set and dies are a newer released stamp set, or you can get it in a bundle. So these are the stamps here. I'm going to grab the ones that I need. So we're going to use this little Easter bunny right here. And then we will be using the Easter egg. We're also going to have the Happy Easter right here. So I like to get my stamps all together before I stamp. And then I am going to also stamp these little flowers here. Okay, I'm also going to be using some Stampin' Blends. I have the Lucky Limeade Dark. I have the Crumb Cake Light, the Bashful Blue, or Balmy Blue, I'm sorry. I always say Bashful Blue. The Balmy Blue, and then the Pretty in Pink. So we're going to be doing some coloring, we're doing some stamping, we're going to be doing cutting. The stamp pad that I'm using today is the gray granite. I didn't want to use black. I didn't want to use brown. I wanted to use kind of a neutral palette for that. So we are going to be stamping our Easter bunny here. Let's get him stamped here. The gray granite is a great color when you want to do something a little bit lighter than the black. We are going to stamp 2, 3 of these guys. And we will wait to stamp the Happy Easter and the flowers till we get to that part. Okay, now I want to color these. So this is where your Stampin' Blends comes in. And since the gray granite is a water-based ink, we use these alcohol-based inks to color, and it won't blend into the color of the of your stamped image. Now the eggs, we're just going to color them all differently. I'm going to color this entire center with the Pretty in Pink. This one, I'm going to do the band there. This one, I'm going to do the very top of the egg and this band down here. Okay, so all of our eggs are going to be a little bit different. Okay, now I'm going to take the Lucky Limeade and we will stamp this here. Now the color that's in, coordinating color that's in the Designer Series paper is the Granny Apple Green. However, I wanted, this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to do only the bottom triangles. The Lucky Limeade is a great alternative for the Granny Apple Green. I just felt that the Granny Apple Green was going to be a little bit too deep of a color for a nice soft Easter card. Okay, here is our Balmy Blue. Now you could take time and use the dark and the light, but I am choosing just to use the light in all these colors. Okay, so we've got that. Those are a little bit, they're all colored a little bit different. Now we're going to take our crumb cake and we're going to color our bunny. So once again, just coloring in. And I am going to leave a little bit of a white space in this one, just to show a little bit of a highlight. Okay, now we're going to color his face, and I'm going to do this in a circular motion. going around the edge first, because if I overlap, that's going to create a little bit of a shadow. And just right over that. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do his body. And I'm just going to do this. Now, his whole body is not going to show, but I do want to color most of it just in case I decide I want to push it up a little bit farther. He's actually going to be peeking out of the basket. Okay, now I'm going to take my Pretty in Pink and I'm going to give him some cheeks. You guys know I just love giving my characters a little bit of character, right? A little bit different. So I'm just going to go ahead right there on each side. Now, I don't like that they're that dark, so I am going to grab my color lifter and I'm with the brush tip. I'm going to go over his entire face. And what this is going to do is that's going to lift up some of that color. So it's going to lighten it. I'm going to take his on his cheeks, just go around there a little bit. It's okay, we have a little bit of shading here, but I want his hands just a little bit lighter. His arms. Okay, so you need to let that dry a little bit, you guys. Don't panic, let it dry before you go touching anything up. Okay, so we're going to cut these out. So for that, I need my cut and emboss machine. Now, if you have the mini machine would work just fine, but I like to use a bigger one when I'm here doing this for you guys, just because it's a little bit easier. Oops, I got the wrong platform. Okay, so we've got platform number 1, platform number 2, and then we need 2 acrylic plates. So we have 1 acrylic plate, and then we're going to take our paper and our dies. Now, since I have a couple dies on here, I am going to use a Post-it note to hold these. And I've got a couple right here. You can see I use them for my painting too. They've got paint on them, but that's okay. Now, if you don't have the dies, but you bought buy the stamp set, I feel that these images are easy enough to cut out by fussy cutting. However, you will not have the basket. The basket is in the dies only, you guys. So if you like this cute little basket, you need to get the bundle. Okay. And you can just go to judystamps.com and click on the shop now. And over there, I will have a post tomorrow with the item numbers. Okay, now we're going to cut another egg out, but while I'm cutting this egg, I also want to cut the basket because I like twofers. I like when I can cut 2 images at one time. Don't you? Yeah, I know, Kathy. It is. Okay. Then we're just going to place this on here. It's not going around an image, so I don't have to take a Post-it note. I can just put it through. I'm pushing this down so it goes underneath there and then straight down and squeezing. And then those dies should not move. Now, you'll notice I said should not. Sometimes they do on me. Okay. Let's grab these again. How have you guys been? How's the weather by you? So many people have been sick. Our snow is almost all gone. We're hoping even to get into the 50s next week. Supposed to be in the 40s out there, and I can tell you guys, I was out there a little bit ago with the dogs, just in my jeans and flannel shirt. It felt like spring out there after the weather that we've had. And I know some of you are going, Judy, what are you, nuts? I am. You know, when you live in the Midwest, the northern portion, and you have snow and these cold, brutal winds and weather, I will tell you, when it gets a little bit nice, we love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I am going to put my dies where I won't lose them. Put this all to the side, and let's get our pieces now. Look at this, you guys. What does this remind you of? To me, it looks like a beehive. I could draw or use my watercolor brush and some ink and make that into a beehive. So don't throw that away. Okay, now we also have here in the dies some pieces to weave in and out. And I didn't grab those. Let me grab those real quick. So this is what makes this look like a real basket. So I am going to grab that. I'm going to have to grab my machine again. Now, you wouldn't have to do this part. You could draw it on with your Stampin' Blend. But I want to show you how cute this basket is when you use these weave pieces. Let me grab another scrap here. Don't you love it when you can use scraps? You know, you guys know I love using scraps. And I store my scraps in hanging files by name so I can just go back and they're, of course, you guys know me, they're in alphabetical order. Everything I do is in alphabetical order. But that allows me just to reach and get what I need. Okay, see how easy those came out, you guys? And look at this. I'm sure we could think of something for that too. I waste not. I often get laughed at because I'm so frugal. And Dave will tell me, oh, no, you know what? Just throw that away. You can get another one. And I'm like, no way, buddy. Okay, so we're going to take our basket and we are going to weave these in and out, these slots. So up, down, and I am going to do, no, I'm going to do them one at a time. Just weaving them in and out. And if I had thought ahead of time, I would have gone ahead and done one up. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're going to move it down. Now, you can put all of these in if you want. You can put a few of them in. Your second row, you're going to do the opposite. Okay, so this is going to help hold those in there. So you don't really need adhesive to hold these strips in, you guys. We're going to add some dimensionals to this, and those dimensionals are going to hold these in. Be very careful so you don't rip your paper though, okay? And if you go farther away from where you put this one through, it's a little bit easier. Oh, that one's past there. Need to make sure I stay in front of that until I'm ready to push it through. Let's get this one, push it through, this one, and push it through. Okay, I think I'm only going to do 3 strips, you guys. I don't think I need all of them. What do you think? Let me know. Do you think you would go and use every single one of these strips, or would you use 3, 4, maybe? I like to do things in odds. Let's get this. But the more you get on here, you guys, the little bit tougher it is. I'm going to move this one down a little bit so I can push this one through. Okay, lift it up before I get there and just continue pushing. Oops, I went past it again. So just continue on. This is a little bit of fussy stuff, but it's so worth it. It is so cute when it is done. I've made a couple of these already for some different projects. I actually had a fruit. Let me get my, take your pick. That will help. I had some fruit and I wanted to send a little tag. So I took and made this basket and stamped the fruit. They were strawberries and tucked them in and around here. And they were big strawberries, you guys. They weren't small strawberries that I stamped, but it still looked simply adorable, if I do say so myself. And when I gave the little gift to my friend, she loved it. She says, "Oh my gosh, you come up with the best ideas. I just love making them happy and making them feel special. Do that special touch for them. Because who doesn't like to bring joy into somebody else's life just with simple things?" Okay, so we have these. So I'm going to not move this one all the way up. I think where it is fine. In fact, I think where they all are fine. So I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to trim off the edges so they line up with the side of the basket. Okay, so we've got that done. Let's go to our card base. Now our card base, there's Noisy. Our card base is a standard card base, but I want to cut the top portion of the front off. So I've already scored it at 4 1/4, and I want to cut this top part off at 2 3/4. So since this is 5 1/2, that's the halfway mark. You can cut it at 2 1/2, 3 inches, whatever you want. So I'm going to take that, bring it down to that score line. So I'm lining that line up there with my score line. Okay, I'm going to turn it, put that score line right in that channel, and I'm going to cut down to that line. Now, if I'm lucky, which I am, should be playing the lottery today, that came out perfectly. Okay, let's take our bone folder and we're going to go ahead and burnish that score line so it closes really nice. Ooh, sorry. Okay, let's get our pieces here. We have our bunny. We have our basket. We have our 3 eggs. 1, 2, and 3. So we've got those. We have our piece of designer series paper. First of all, you guys, I chose this side because I thought, oh, that would be so cute. However, when I saw the flowers in the stamp set, they're almost like this. So I thought, oh, I'm going to use that side. I'm going to take my bone folder and see where that score line is up a little bit. I'm just going to burnish that down. Okay, so we need to adhere this to our card base. So let's do that. And this is actually going to be on the inside of the card, you guys. Okay, so we're going to take this and put this in here. Okay, so that is creating a very small border here because I brought it down a little bit, because we're actually going to be putting a piece down here. We're going to stamp it. But before we do that, let's go and put this piece together. Okay, so I am just going to go ahead and adhere this basic white directly to this mat. Okay, and you could use an oval here. You could, use any shape that you want. We're going to be popping this up, but I want to put it on here for placement. We're going to have our bunny sticking out like that. We're going to have our eggs. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this basket. Now, be careful when you adhere this basket. I'm not going to adhere the top at all. I know I'm going to be tucking things in along the top, and I know it's going to be going in on this side. So I actually want to go down just a little bit on this side and on the other corner because our eggs are going to be kind of sticking out there. And I'm going to put this one here and another one towards the center. Okay, now you could stamp some flowers to put in the basket also, right directly onto this piece. You would then want to mark where your basket was going to go. So we're just going to put our basket right here. Okay, now our bunny's going to go. I do want it to appear like our bunny's sticking out. So I'm going to put a dimensional on his head, not his butt. But on his butt, I'm going to put some tape. Okay, and we're going to tuck that right in there. Now he can go past this mat, you guys, because we still have the rest of our card. Okay, let's get these eggs. And I do want to adhere 2 of them. Rosie, stop with dimensionals, because once again, I want them to appear 3D, right? So let's stick this one here. Oh, she's barking at something out there. Stick this one here. Now this one I'm going to do flat directly on the back. And this is where if you wanted to stamp a flower coming up, you could do that. And you could do it with the basket in there. I'm going to put this one right there. Isn't that cute? You know, I just got an idea. You could even take some Easter grass and tuck it in there. How cute would that be? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to be putting this on here, just like this. So, knowing that, I want to put my Happy Easter on here, and I'm hoping I can get a flower. But we will see. Not too sure that flower is going to fit now. Okay, we're going to ink that up really good. The Happy Easter is going to go right down here, right underneath that mat. Hold it for a second so that ink absorbs in. And I really don't think we need a flower. Do you? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I was thinking I was going to have to decorate this piece a little bit more than I have to. Okay, I'm lining this up. Now see how it makes this look like it's just a card front, you guys? This I'm going to put directly onto that flap. Now, I'm putting adhesive on the bottom of that piece, but I'm going to put the adhesive on here, not try to figure out where I need the adhesive there so it doesn't stick in the middle. Okay, got that. Look how cute that is, you guys. Now we need to do the inside. And this is where we're going to stamp the flower. Let's stamp this flower on the inside. We can stamp 2 flowers. You can write your little note on the inside. There's plenty of room. Now let's color. We're going to do the Lucky Limeade as the stem and the leaves. These are small images, so it doesn't take much to color them. Okay. Write this up. Who would you send this card to? Let me know in the comments, you guys. Who would you make this card and send it to? A friend? A child? A grandchild? Now I want to show you something. In this designer series paper, there's some blue dots. I'm taking my pen and I'm just going to put some groups of dots around my flowers. Just like that. Now it ties into that designer series paper. Just a quick little addition. Okay. Look how cute the inside of that card is, you guys. I'm making sure I'm below this line here because I don't want this white piece to look out on the front. And there we go. There is our happy little Easter card, our little basket. Isn't that cute? So once again, it is our, whoops, show you these, the Easter basket stamp set, and it's a set of 12. It's got a cute little chicken here. It's got, this would be a cute chocolate bunny to put in the basket, don't you think? And then we have the Easter basket dies of 15 dies. So you have a couple extra dies. You've got a bow, which we could have put a bow on here. We have grass. We've got the basket pieces. We've got some scallop here. We have some more flowers. That's our chick, our little bunny. So cute. You think we should do the bow? I'm looking here. No, okay, no, we're not going to do the bow. We're going to leave the bow, leave it as is. So once again, here is your card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.